Alright, so we've decided that we're going to escape the atmosphere and haul this parachute up, because pretty much that's already, you know, what our rockets do. So we won't really have to modify our craft that much. Alright, so now we're going for the R2. You know, R1, it was good, you were a good rocket for what you were, but, you know, it's time for change, Buster. Also, we're not having any of this anymore. Alright, so we're gonna keep... This is all gonna go away. And one of the Science Juniors. We're gonna keep this though, because, I mean, the Mystery Goose, I mean, they're not very heavy, but... Sorry, I bumped the mic. They are a bit, you know, not... They make it asymmetrical, and I'm not comfortable with any of that going on my ship. Yeah. So we're just going to have a stack separator there. And we're going to chunk just a few of these fuel tanks on here. Well, not a few. A lot. And I think what we're going to do... There's two ways we could go here. We could go for the Reliant and fins or a swivel, but, you know, we've got a little bit less thrust. Like, is this guy at... Well, I mean, let's just unlock him so that, you know, we have it. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the swivel just because it gives our rocket a little bit more flexibility in terms of steering, and, you know, it's not mutually exclusive having this or, you know, the AV-R8 winglets. Look at me using the technical terms. I usually just call those the tourney wings. Could have gone for that guy, but just really, who uses these? They're useless. They can't, you know. They got a tiny little control surface. They don't provide that much lift, and they just look ugly. I'm just not into them. Yeah, and I don't know how much they cost. I can't actually speak to that right now. Alright, so I think we could actually throw a little bit more fuel on there. Throw a little bit more fuel on just because, you know, why not? Thrust to weight ratio is 1.7, and that is plenty to get into space. Yeah. Plenty to get to suborbit anyway. This is where we start to run into the danger of, if we go too steep, then we could burn up in the atmosphere. Yeah, and this time we're gonna go with Val just to get her a little XP. And also, you know, Jeb worked hard for the last two flights. It's been all Jeb. We need, you know, it's time for Val to step up to the plate. Alright, so we're just gonna have that open just so I can judge if I'm gonna make this. So at 3,000 meters, I gotta be going, you know, 30 to 190 meters per second. I think I can do that. Do that pretty easy. And we've shut this one down just so that we can keep some mass forwards while we're ascending, because if it drifts too far back, then all the stuff we have up on the nose cone could actually cause the rocket to flip over. And we do not want that to happen. So yeah, we're just gonna lift off, and we're not gonna do our gravity turn yet because this rocket is much more maneuverable than the R1, so we can afford to, you know, get some vertical going. You usually want to start doing your gravity turn when you're between, you know, 50 to 100 meters per second. Yeah, we're just gonna do a little baby turn there and hold like this for a second. And also, I hate it because, like, okay, ooh, we got a bit of a wobble going. And we're gonna turn off the torque for now. Alright, and we got that first contract, so that's very good. Damn. Got a bit of a wobble in this rocket. I might have actually given it a little bit too much maneuverability, especially because it's all down there at the bottom. Oh man, we gotta throttle up. This is not my best launch. Not my worst one either, by far. Yeah. I mean, it's much better to go too shallow than too steep, because too shallow, you just don't reach space, big whoop, try again later. Too steep, you reach space, and then you come down through the atmosphere and either burn up or it doesn't slow you down enough for your parachutes to deploy. Yeah, learning how to play this game with re-entry heating just makes it a whole different thing. Yeah. Now see, ideally for a launch you just don't use SAS at all, because you know every maneuvering, every time you maneuver is you're putting drag on the rocket, which saps just a little bit of your delta V. And also, if you see that time to apoapsis, you usually want to keep that around 45 seconds. So yeah, I'm in high atmosphere now, so I can, afford to go a little shallower. Just throttle down. You do this so that you're not. I don't know why you do it, honestly. All I did, I saw it in a guide, and it seems to work well, so I do it. Yeah, and are we gonna? Ooh, but we got a little bit of Easter surprise right here. So yeah, now we can start burning that fuel, and we're totally gonna get into space this time. Totally. Probably. I hope. Yeah. Let's switch that to orbit mode, just because, alright, our apoapsis is up to 40,000, and we have... So that's totally enough fuel. We're gonna do it. But what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pitch up a little bit more. Just to, I know what I said about the time to apoapsis, but we gotta get into space just so that we can get that cash, Okay, yeah, we're just gonna pitch up super hard. Breaking all the rules. I don't care. And I don't that's not gonna be enough. We're, God, just so close to making it to space, but it's just not gonna happen. And now let's enable the torque again. Dang. I thought that would be, see, you're 5 kilometers short. Come on. We've got Air Force pilots that have flown higher than that in the X-15 and been able to say that they went to space. So I think that Val should be able to say that she's gone to space. But no, just high atmosphere. I'm not saying it's a total loss, but I would have rather, maybe, is this, ooh. But what we can do, because the atmosphere is so, oh, nope, we can't EVA yet. Never mind. Assuming that we can actually pass through the Earth, or Kerbin, without touching it, we can actually get back up here in 18 minutes. We'll get a little bit of science. That might be enough to, snag the tech that'll give us the radial decouplers. And then we can strap some SRBs onto our existing design, and that actually would probably be enough to get us into, 5 kilometers. I gotta believe that. If we had done this steeper, we would have gotten into space. Though it also would have been a lot more dangerous because, it's danger up in space when you're going steep. Yeah, and we did clear the second continent, so we're definitely getting a distance record. Just gonna clear that out so that we know that. Just taunting me. Escape the atmosphere. I know, I want to do it. I'm trying, dude. But just not right now. I'm just gonna fast forward through this descent, and probably, and I'm just gonna edit this in post to just go down super fast. So if anything interesting happens, then I'll you'll hear about it. So now we've got our chute open. We're gonna pop the other two, and you know, once we cross 100 meters, you know what? Let's pop it at 50. You know, let's get real crazy. You know, slow all the way down to 4 meters per second. Land real gentle. We could definitely manage with less parachutes than this, but you know, never hurts to be safe, especially because, you know, we can recover these every time. Okay. And let's just get, you know, one more mystery goo from the water because, you know, it's not costing us anything to run it. It's costing us something to put it up into space. Okay. Got a little bit of science here, and that'll get us enough. Oh, look at that, 0.8. Can I just use it to get the radial decoupler? Alright. Though we can get another contract going. Can I do that at the launch pad? I don't know. Test at launch site. That'll get us some science. Radio mount parachute. Ooh. Hello. I can just do this again. Just get more free. Ooh. Do have to go quite slow, and I'm not. You know what? No, not gonna do that. All right. So you know, we're gonna just launch the R2 again, and let's see here. How many parts do we have? 27. So we can actually probably throw on a little more fuel. You know. Just, you know, just a little bit more fuel. That'll get us into space, definitely. Oh, but what we are going to do is we're going to go to the astronaut complex and upgrade it so that we can do an EVA once we're up in space. I think we have enough money for it. Yeah, we got the cash. Yeah, because EVA reports, that's just a ton of science. Alright, and I think, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna keep going. I'll cut this, you know, when it's about 15 minutes long.
Hey look, it's about 15 minutes long.